All right, Donald Trump's health issues are at the forefront of the conversation, and I have an expert talking about what is obviously happening before our eyes. Donald Trump is just slipping away. And I have Joe Rogan for you. Joe Rogan, who is probably one of the largest voices in America right now, has probably the largest right-leaning voices coming out against Donald Trump. I think it's fascinating that this is happening. Wish it would have happened, in November or October of last year, but I'm glad it's happening now. And we have Governor Abbott saying something stupid about Governor Pritzker. Let's start with that. Governor Pritzker is anti-ICE, anti-military in the streets. Governor Greg Abbott is doing what he does best, which is essing Trump's D, we'll say. And here's what he had to say.
And he's talking about hot dog food and the Milwaukee Brewers. No wonder he's a massive failure. No wonder. Did you see what Pete Hegseth said? He said that Pritzker needs to stop complaining and do some push-ups.
You can always count on the Secretary of War to nail this right on the top of with the hammer. He's always.
Governor Abbott tells Pritzker to stop complaining and do some push-ups. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. Not saying anything. I'll let you say it in the comments. I'm not saying anything. I'm going to move on. Okay, now, as I said, Joe Rogan is really disgusted, as we all are, by what we're seeing unfolding in this country. The anti-American raiding of homes, arresting people without due process, attacking families that have moved here just to start and create a better life. And here's what Joe Rogan said about it.
Voted 51-49 to defend.
By the way, I have no idea why they're dressed like priests, but they are.
The immigration thing, the way it looks is horrific. When you're just arresting people in front of their kids and just normal, regular people that have been here for 20 years, that everybody who has a heart can't get along with that.
No.
Everybody who has a heart sees that and goes, that can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be the only way to do this.
Right.
Because you have to think, look, yeah, we have to have a border. Yes, it should have been secure. Yes, they should make sure you know who everybody is before they get in.
Yeah.
But when people have been here for 20 years, like, come on, man. That's crazy. Like, let's find a way. If they've been productive members of society for 20 years, no criminal record, they worked the entire time, they paid taxes. Find them a pathway to citizenship. Find a way where you can do this thing that you want to do, which is keep terrorists and cartel members from getting across the border with drugs that kill 100,000 people a year. Okay, but also have a fucking heart. Because if you don't, you're not going to get anybody on your side. If you're doing this stuff publicly, throwing women to the ground, handcuffing people, just for existing on the wrong side of the dirt.
Yeah.
Not a criminal. Not the only crime they ever committed was coming over here as a kid.
Yeah.
They probably didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
A lot of kids got snuck across when they were already born in Mexico. And they've grown up their entire life in America. They can't even speak Spanish. Yeah. And they could get sent back.
I'm so glad he's talking like that. If you're upset with him, I totally understand. We need to build the largest, the biggest, the most powerful coalition in American history to defeat American fascism. I welcome him to the fight if he wants to come. And I'm not going to tell him that I told you so, because though we knew this was going to happen, it's nice that someone who can speak to a large group of conservative Americans or people who are just outside of the political spectrum about what's happening here, the morality around it. And I think it's really, really important that he's saying that. And let's be honest, when Donald Trump is going after comedians, it's also extremely brave for him to say this, because Donald Trump could very easily make him enemy number one with one tweet. Now, he went on to talk about the Epstein stuff, and it finally clicked. He's like, wait a second, the Democrats want to release the Epstein files, but the Republicans are blocking it?
Wait, not both sides. It's the Republican.
Voted 51-49 to defeat an amendment that would have forced the Department of Justice to release all files related to Jeffrey Epstein. The vote was largely along party lines, with Republicans joining all Democrats in supporting the amendment.
Oh, wait, not both sides. It's the Republicans voting against this shit.
It says 2 Republicans joining the Democrats in supporting the amendment to defeat it. So why are the Democrats interested in defeating it?
Well, let's ask. No, I think this is saying that the Democrats want it to come out and the Republicans don't.
Okay.
And party line.
Oh my God. As you can see, these are not the brightest people. They're not the brightest people, but this is like the average voter. It's the average voter. So I'm glad they're walking them through it.
Let's ask Perplexity. Why won't they release the Epstein?
So I was going to. There's Eric Swalwell, who's I guess.
I read it wrong. Read it wrong. No, so the Democrats were not. The Democrats were pushing this. The Republicans fought against it. Okay, I fucked that up. So 51-49 is crazy. So they just voted along party lines. So they're probably told to do this.
Right. So what the fuck's in there, man?
Well, so then they've been. Not only is the government shut down right now, I think that might affect it some, but they're in recess. Congress is. And so Eric Swalwell said this stuff today. Again, it might not be true, but
it's coming to an end, guys. I've spoken to a lot of House Republicans this week, and they confided that Trump's movement support is fading. As one told me, this Epstein bomb is about to drop, and no one wants to defend a pedo protector. It's just a matter of time, Swalwell said in a thread. One Republican just texted me that if there's a discharge vote on Epstein, they expect a jailbreak of over 100 members. Trump will go nuts, he added.
So they said, this further goes on to say that if they get back, that this is the first thing on the docket, and that's sort of what's holding them back in recess right here.
Wow. We are watching wild history in real time.
Dude.
We are. And this is, I don't know. We'll see 100 Republicans voting to release the Epstein files. I don't know. Marjorie Taylor Greene's come out in support of it. I believe Lauren Boebert has too, but I guess it could happen. I do know that is the reason why Mike Johnson is not taking them back into session, because though the government is shut down, they could 100% still do the business of passing laws and that sort of thing. So it's obvious that there's something in there they're trying to keep from the American people and they're trying to help Donald Trump. I'm going to end with this. This is David Nur, who wanted to talk about the fact that Donald Trump it's obvious he is losing his mind.
I think we all point that he from this entire process, but there is no doubt at this point that he is having serious health issues, both physical and mental. He's having his annual physical this weekend, supposedly, except it's his second physical in 6 months. And that's not annual, last I checked. And what's more, he's doing it at Walter Reed. So, why does he have to go to a hospital for this? I mean, he can have any doctor on earth come to the White House. I guess maybe that's routine. But his mental acuity, I think, is even more concerning. And J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois in particular, has been really aggressive on this. And he has started saying, he's been unafraid to point this out. And I think a lot of Democrats don't typically like to do this sort of thing because it feels mean. But this isn't mean. This is our country's future is at stake here. And we have a madman who's unwell in the White House. And Pritzker in particular started saying today or the other day that, he's pointing a finger at Trump's family for basically insulating him or manipulating him or keeping him in office when he's clearly unwell and shouldn't be serving.
Yeah. So we're going to keep following all of this. And there's clearly a through line here where Donald Trump is unwell. Congress is trying to do what they can to protect him. And I want to know, honestly, who is running the government? Who's running the government? Because Donald Trump clearly isn't. He doesn't even care about the fact that it's closed. He's not doing anything about the negotiations. He didn't even do the Israel-Gaza deal. Reportedly, his son-in-law did. I don't know how much there is of validity to that. So we have a president who's out to lunch, and meanwhile, I think it's Stephen Miller, the dark prince of hell, who is actually in control of this country. So we're going to keep following this. If you want to follow along, please do hit like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Thanks.